Hey guys, my name is Shakira. I am the owner of Divine Crochet, formerly known as True Threads. I decided to take a leap and start my YouTube journey. For a long time, I was doing reels on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, but initially, I never really was a fan of short form content because I always had so much to say. I always had so much to show. And doing YouTube kind of felt like the big dog of like, filming and showing your art, showing what you create and things like that. So yeah, welcome. I'm so excited to be here in this space and sharing with you my art, whether that's knitting, crochet, painting, sculpting. I dilly dally in a lot of different medium. I dilly dally in a lot of different mediums and creative like projects. Um, so I'm very excited to be here and just introduce myself to you guys. Um, Two projects I'm working on right now are winter hats for children at this elementary school that I'm donating to. So I'm working on these hats, as you can see right here. I have a good bit of hats done. I have a long ways to go because it's a full elementary school. Um, and then of course I have my knitting project. I have like a million different whips in progress, whether that's crochet, knit, the painting. I like to keep my hobbies in rotation because that helps me not get bored or lose motivation. It's like, okay, I worked a little bit on this. Even though I know I could get straight through, I could create straight through. That's not how my mind works. It's not how my creativity works. And to keep the gears going, I like to keep them in rotation and I like to come back and see progress on what I create. And yeah, I haven't been counting my number of hats, but I know we have well over 35 right now. I have one volunteer who's done some headbands for fifth grade girls, and I appreciate her so much. I had another volunteer, but she didn't have the time. Um, Even I slowed down a little bit because it was just a lot going on and I needed rest. And my oldest started school, so I'm back with more hats and just trying to stay consistent and yeah, getting these hats done before the winter season. I have plenty of time. I was rushing so hard, y'all, trying to get these done in the spring. I don't know why I was trying to get them done in the spring, but I have so much more time to not rush it or put that pressure on myself, but stay consistent and get them done. I also drop in some summer crochet stuff, working on the winter stuff. So it's like, I gotta keep the ball rolling. I don't want to overwork myself, put too much pressure on myself. Um, but yeah, I'm so excited to share more of my life with you. Um, yeah, if you don't hear my baby crying in the background, if you do, I'm going to get him in just a few minutes. My film window was very, very short. I don't even know. I guess I will drop my handles, my Instagram, my TikTok. I am on Facebook. I know. I am on Facebook. I figured go everywhere when I go everywhere because, yeah, I want everybody to see my art and just to share more. And yeah. So right now I'm working on these winter hats for the elementary school kids. This is for my community project that I'm doing. I won a grant for this project back in December. And it was basically a grant where we decide how we want to give back to the community through our private organization or business. And I live on the school street and it was very cold. And I was just like, a lot of these kids aren't wearing hats. And even if they have a hat and they're probably not wearing it, I was just like, well, I crochet and I already make hats for kids. They were just beanies. So I was like, well, why don't I apply for this and make some hats? And every time I talked to somebody about the hats, and I went to the school, they were like, "You're gonna make all those hats? How are you gonna do that?" I said, "I don't know, but I'm gonna do it because I want to give back to my community." They were like, "Okay, you guys, like, you're gonna need help." I'm like, "Yeah." And in the beginning, I was just like, "No, I got this." Like, I got this, and then I was like, "Wait a minute." almost 400 hats crocheting by myself. That's pretty much, that's a lot. So I did end up finding two volunteers. One could not volunteer with me anymore because she didn't really have the time. I have another one who's still going strong. I appreciate you. She's got like 35 headbands done. We're doing headbands and hats, just because the fifth grade girls prefer headbands. So I'm very excited. These are what some of my hats look like. They're so adorable, and I really appreciate um, the colors I've been choosing and putting together. I'm trying to do gender neutral, but I'm also like, throw some girl hats in there, some boy hats in there, um, so that they can choose. And this is for the lowest class, like pre-K through fifth grade. So there are a lot of hats and a few different sizes I'm going through. But yeah, these are the hats. I decided to do cat ear because I did so many calculations of size, how much yarn I would need based on the students. I did, what do you call them? Brain fart. What did I do? I did a gauge swatch. I made a whole hat. I made a few different sizes, and I based that on the amount of yarn I need. And yeah, so I use about four. They're 50 grams. They're 50 grams each. So they're Hobby Friends cotton yarn, 100%. And this by far is like the most vibrant yarn I've ever seen since I've started crocheting. It's stringy, but I've been crocheting for over 3 years now, so I'm pretty good at working with the stringiness, and I'm just letting all the colors come to me. I've Because spring came around, I really wanted to do some spring hats, so I did this one. It reminded me of like a tulip or whatever. This one is super cute. This is one that I just finished. Yeah, so we are on a roll, and right now I'm actually doing a boy hat because spring came around and I was like, immediately girl colors: purple, lavender, soft yellow, bright yellow, hot pink, all the cutesy colors. And I was like, okay, I'm trying to balance it and then also do some, like I said, some gender neutral colors in the mix. Yeah, but I'm super excited to give these to the kids. I feel like they're going to be super duper happy receiving these, and also knowing that somebody handmade these and made them unique at that. I want kids to feel unique in their own expression and their self. And I was like, let me not just do them all the same color. Let me do different color combinations, different styles and patterns, and make them feel like they have a really unique hat, because I love making unique work. I haven't ever really made the same thing before. Not really. So, and none of my hats are the same. They could be the same pattern, like the two color combination, or like this one, it's got some rows skipped where they're solid, or even this one right here where I just did this. But I figured this was actually one of the first ones. This was the first hat I did. This was the first hat I did, and so you can see I just used the Hobby Friends cotton. I've been using part of my yarn stash to just make it thicker and more durable, because we know how kids are and we know how yarn is, so they're going to snag and get dirty and all roughed up. So I wanted them to be as thick as comfortable, as thick as possible, for the kids, so that they can last a long time. And so I was immediately after this one, I was just like, no, I'm gonna combine and do like different color combinations, 2 strands, 3 strands, just so that it can be thicker, more durable. And I'm still gonna give this one away, but yeah, I didn't like how thin it felt, and I just know how kids are. I know how I am with certain stuff. Um, but yeah, this is crazy. I just realized that this is the first hat I made after I got the grant, and yeah, I'm so grateful and so happy. Um, yeah. So yeah, right now the colors I picked, I look at the hats I've already done, and I'm like, okay, how many dark colors have I done? How many light colors have I done? or the base color. I always pick a base color and then I choose my accent color for my stash or my scrap yarn. So for this one I chose orange, green, and white. And because it is scrap yarn, the green and white are scrap yarn, I'm probably gonna throw some other colors in the mix. And yeah, just switch up the pattern a bit. I'm gonna do a few more boy hats since I just did like 3, 4 girl hats, and then I'll go to, gender neutral colors or whatever and things like that. Like this right here, this is a gender neutral color hat. Because like I said, for the girly girls who want the girly colors, I want them to have that option. I want them to be able to pick which hat they want, not just be given. Because, whatever, and it'll make them unique. And they'll be like, oh, this is cute. Da 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 da. So, yeah. Um, I don't know where I'm going to include this segment in it, but I just felt like I needed to add in more, show you guys a little bit more about what I'm currently working on right now, my biggest project that I'm working on right now. Um, yeah, but I do have to go get my baby. He's crying, and my other one is my oldest. He's up, so yeah, I've got to get the babies, you guys. I'm a mommy of 2. So I've got to give my babies. Thank you for watching. If you feel called to comment or like or share, thanks for watching. Bye.